political is this in an election campaign? I know there's going to be blame everywhere. You mentioned more needs to be done at the top of the Secret Service, but do the Democrats across the board need to be doing here? Does the president need to be doing more? Does the vice president and current Democrat nominee need to be doing more for the rest of the campaign?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to speak very frankly here, because this is the direct result of years of the progressive left Democrats calling President Trump Hitler, saying that he's evil, that he's a racist, that that he needs to be eradicated, that he's a scourge. And this becomes fuel. This becomes motivation for people who are mentally defective. They take this as their battle cry, and they say, I'm going to go out and I'm going to solve the world's problems. Here is this blight, this cancer on society. I'm going to take something, a firearm, and I'm going to go out and I'm going to solve this problem. And within hours of the attempted assassination of President Trump in Butler Township, Pennsylvania, you've got Democrats that are doubling down on the rhetoric. This rhetoric is directly responsible for this type of chaos. Directly responsible.
I mean, you've had 2 attempts now in 2 months. What do you make of the state of affairs now in America? I mean, you got to assume that, I mean, you don't want to inflame things, but there's got to be the possibility there could be other attempts now if there's been 2 in 2 months, and the authorities need to do more to push back against this.
Well, the Secret Service should be treating every single rally, every single gathering, every single event as this is the event. This is when everything is going to happen. This is the moment that we've trained for. It's called game intelligence. You game it out, you have scenarios that are played out, you have responses to those scenarios, and you are prepared for every single contingency. And that's a tough job because you have to be prepared for every single contingency, and you have to get every possible contingency right. The bad guy only has to get it right once.
No, that's very true. Hey, Keith, should Donald Trump, I mean, should he be wearing vests wherever he goes now?
I would imagine that he is. I mean, that certainly is the rumor from deep within his campaign that he is. Whether or not they're going to say that, I think it would be irresponsible for somebody within his campaign to acknowledge that. Absolutely, there should be vests. But here's the thing. He has a security detail that is responsible for utilizing force multipliers. Those would be local police departments, sheriff's departments on a county level, state police, Bureau of Criminal Investigations for the respective states that he happens to be visiting, and also additional resources within the federal government. After the first failed attempt in August, his threat level necessarily skyrockets. Clearly, this is an individual who is going to be targeted for violence. It's necessary to reassess the types of protective services that we're providing him and be able to enhance and bolster those. It doesn't seem like that's being done. And certainly, I think that's a logical argument, given the fact that here we are several weeks later attempt number 2.
Yeah.
And again, thank God. And again, listen, we don't want, it doesn't matter what side of the political aisle that somebody happens to be on. We don't want to see political opponents shedding blood from the other party.
No.
But when the rhetoric, and I have to go back to the rhetoric that is being perpetrated on a daily basis by multiple players within the Democrat Party of this country, when they continue to propagate the rhetoric that they do, this becomes more likely, and now at this point, an inevitability.
Yeah, okay.